that CBSE Board 2024-25 exam is knocking on the door, right? So before you are everyone appearing in your board exam, you need to know what is the type of questions, what are the type of questions are going to appear in your board exam. Today we are going to discuss about the chemistry portion in your science paper. At first, what we have to know about the paper pattern, about the marking scheme, the subject name, the topic name. The first thing is, the first chapter in our chemistry part is chemical reactions and equation. In our entire paper, there are 5 segments, right? Everyone, you know that thing. The first one is 1 marks, MCQ based question. Number 2 is 2 marks, 3 marks, 4 marks, 5 marks. From chemistry, will get 25 marks in your question paper of science. Now, the first chapter, chemical reaction and equation, will get 3 questions for 1 marks each and 1 question for 2 marks. Now, what type of questions are going to come in your board exam for the chemistry paper? 1 marks question, you know about the chemical reactions and equation, because this is a actually very small chapter, the most small chapter in your entire chemistry syllabus. 3 marks question should be the type of reactions, the type of equations. It might be the precipitation reaction, neutralization reaction, different type of decomposition reaction, and the redox reaction. From this segment, the MCQ part or 1 marks question will become. Next is 2 marks question. There will be 1 question of 2 marks for the chemistry part in chemical reaction and equation. What kind of questions can become there? This might be the competency based question. This might be the competency based question. They can ask you about the color of the PPT. They can ask you the conditions of the reactions. They can directly ask you about the definitions. The definitions like that, what is double decomposition reaction. They can ask you any type of conditions, that why AGBR, what the conditions required for the decomposition of AGBR. These kinds of questions can come in your 2 marks question. This is a very important thing. Uses can also come from the 2 marks questions for the chemical reactions and the equations. So chemical reaction and equation, its weightage is 5 marks total. There is no question from the chemical reaction and equation for the 3 marks, 4 marks and 5 marks as well. Next part is acid, bases and salt. This is a most important and very important chapter. Though it's contain 5 marks question, but there is a twist that there is a 3 marks question. Now, there are 2 MCQ type of question. The MCQ type of questions can be come from the various parts of the acid, bases and salt. So if you have to read out the entire chapter thoroughly, I suggest you to go for the NCERT exemplar. I suggest you to do for the sample papers provided by the CBSE. These are the very much important things. Now, the 3 marks question paper. The 3 marks question. 3 marks question can become competency based. This absolutely competency based. This 3 marks question should be competency based. That means from this question they ask you about the color of PPT. That might be the multiple choice types of PPT. They can ask you the type of the acids, the strength of the acids. They can ask you type of bases. They can ask you the acid-base neutralization reaction. They can ask you the reactions acids do with the metals, acid do with the bases. This kinds of reaction they can ask you in this types of questions. The very important part, which is very important for the CBSE 2024-25, please check the amphoteric part in your acid, base and salt chapter. What is the amphoteric metals when react with the acids, amphoteric metals react with the base, how they react, what are the reactions, which kind of gases will be evolved. These are the very important part in your acid, bases and salts. Okay. The next part is metals and non-metals. In case of the metals and non-metals, there should be 2 marks question which are MCQ and 1 marks assertion and reason based question. This is confirmed. That means from metals, non-metals chapter, you can get one assertion reason based question. And one 3 marks question. This is also competency based question. Remember one thing very clearly, that last year there was a 50% competency based question. In this year, the number of competency based questions will be increased. So please properly go through the entire chapter. Don't concentrate only about the subjective parts. Short questions, VSA type questions, CBQ type questions, these are very important. Very, very important. What kind of 3 marks question come from the metal, non-metal? Refining. Refining. From refining part, the 3 marks question will become copper refining, electrolytic refining of the copper. These questions can become in your 3 marks question. These are the important. There are high chances that from metal, non-metal, these questions will become in your 3 marks question. Done. There will be no question come for the metal, non-metal in 2 marks segment, not for the 4 marks, not for the 5 marks. The total 6 marks questions will become from the metals and non-metals types of question. Now, the most important chapter in your CBSE, that is carbon and its compound. Just check out this thing, that there is no 1 mark question for the carbon and its compound, no 2 mark question from the carbon and its compound, and as well as no 3 mark question also. But there is a 4 mark question and 5 marks question. This 4 mark question is completely case based study. This 4 mark question is completely case based study, and it will be the MCQ again competency based. That means no such descriptive questions or subjective questions will going to be asked from you from this 4 marks question. What about the 5 marks question? The 5 marks questions is solely about the chemical reactions of the organic chemistry. It can be the esterification reaction, substitution, addition, any kinds of reaction. Go for the ethanoic acid, alcohol, homologous series, catenation property. These kinds of things are going to come in this 5 marks question. This is the entire scenario of your chemistry part. Now, the scoring of marks from this segments, the 1 marks, 2 marks and 3 marks, is very easy. It's very easy. Students mainly make mistakes in their 5 marks types question because they don't practice the chemical reactions. They don't practice the chemical reactions from the carbon and its compounds part. This is very important. Number 1. Number 2, please remember one thing. Whenever you go for the MCQ types of question, you should need to know each and every corner, each and every portion of your subject. Completely practice the MCQ, completely practice the NCERT exercise, practice the different test papers, practice the NCERT exemplar. As you increase your practicing, you will be able to answer to all of these types of questions. The main matter of the competency based question is you need to know or you need to understand the question. Okay, fine. Now the 3 marks question from the acid, base and salt and metals, non-metals. Many of the students actually make mistakes from this 2 category, 3 marks 2 category. Why? Because from this category mainly observation based questions will be appear. What are the observation based question? For example, you can say that what will be the observation when ferrous sulfate crystals are strongly heated? Many of students are just write down the gentle heating of the ferrous sulfate. They just ignore the term strongly. In this case, they lose their marks. Number 2, in your metals, non-metals question in 3 marks and in 3 marks pattern, there should be the electron dot structure. Be careful whenever you draw the electron dot structure, you mention or you have to maintain the cleanliness and step. You have to mention the step 1, step 2. In case of the ionic electron dot structure, for the ionic compound or the ionic salt, and for the covalent structure also. Because if you do not mention the steps, teacher will not entitle you with the marks. So the thing is not only to how to write the answers, you have to know also that from where the marks can be deducted. If you conclude the entire things of this chemistry part, then 25 out of 25 is getting is not a very big deal. So I hope every one of you understand clearly about the marks division and what the portions you need to read and what kind of questions are going to come in your board examination. Of all the best, everyone, for your coming board examination. Thank you so much.